All right, we're up, Brandon. How you doing? I know you're in sunny LA. Is it feeling good over there on a Wednesday night, or I guess it's evening over there for you?
Yeah, no, doing well. Yeah, can't complain. LA weather is always the best.
What I hear, man. So just to give everyone a little bit of a background about you, that I know you're big into search engine optimization, and that's kind of been your forte. I guess your aficionado, but I want you to kind of. I got a probably a vague definition of it, and I want you to kind of, if you don't mind, kind of sharing with the listeners exactly what it is here before we start taking a deep dive, and maybe a little, if you want to introduce yourself and give people a little bit of about your background, and we'll fire away from there.
Yeah, my name is Brandon Leibowitz, and I've been involved with digital marketing since 2007, helping websites get more traffic to their web to their business. So kind of just fell into it, wasn't planning on it. Got my degree in business marketing, and the first job I got out of school was helping out a company doing their digital marketing, and I didn't know much about it. They didn't know much about it either. They said, "Don't worry, take you to classes and workshops and learn alongside you with you," which was interesting. And after working there for a few months, just realized everyone's probably gonna have a website in the future. And there's a lot of different ways to get traffic, like SEO, social media, paid ads, email marketing, which it all works, but SEO is just a way to get free traffic. So just focused on that over the years. And also realized that I could do freelance work and would pick up clients here and there, and built that up and built it up to enough where I was able to quit my job and focus on this solely.
Yeah. So cool. So search engine optimization, is that dealing with a lot of keywords like in, Google, Bing and stuff in that way? You can pull that traffic in via through web browsers. And like you said, maybe your social media pops up, and would you say hate too, like hate traffic?
Yeah, well, you can run paid ads. There's a lot of different ways to get traffic, but
Okay.
SEO is getting free traffic. So search engine optimization is ranking on Google, not with the ads, but right below the ads and the free listings.
Oh, okay. So how would one, if they're starting a small business or anything, try to get put up there right below the ads? What's the key?
You got to put keywords all over your website and different places that Google's looking at, so they could build that or know what keywords that you want to rank for. But Google doesn't really care what you put on the website because they don't trust anybody. They want to see what are called backlinks. They want to see other websites talking about you. The more websites that talk about you, the more trust Google's going to give to you. And then they look at the keywords to figure out what to rank you for. But it doesn't really work the other way around. So backlink is clickable link from another website that points to yours. If you're reading an article in the LA Times and it says Brandon Leibowitz and you click on it and it goes to my website, I'd be getting a backlink from the LA Times.
Oh, okay. So, there's a bunch of, I guess, I don't know, apps out there and other websites I've seen that, if you plug in certain keyword, or not keywords, but certain names. So if I say Chris Shelor or whatever, like it gives you like the top keywords that would come up from you, correct? And like, is that kind of just a spoof, or is that something that people can actually use when they're actually, plugging their podcasts or websites or whatever in order to gain that more traffic? I mean, is that pretty legit, or is it certain keywords you should always just use, or does it matter?
Well, you got to research the right keywords. That's the big place. Finding out what keywords to use. You don't want to just use any keyword. You got to figure out what keywords are relevant that people are going to be searching for you. If your name, you're always going to rank for your name. Yeah. You got to find keywords that are not your name.
Is it easy to try to piggyback off of somebody who's already made it as far as names go?
No.
Like big names in there? No? Like as far as good friends and stuff like that?
If you're trying to rank for the word Madonna, Madonna's going to rank. They're not going to let you rank for Madonna or something like that, or Ben Affleck or something like that. So you got to build your own.
Got you. So using the analytics from all of your, I guess if you have a website up, right? Is that kind of try to point you in the right direction as far as like, I'm getting a certain amount of hits these days, and or when I promoted this video, when I promoted X and Y and Z, that I was like, okay, no, there's something to this now. So it's like reading the analytics. Is that really pretty much helpful for anybody?
No, yeah, you definitely want to read analytics so you can see what's working and what's not working, and see which blogs get the most traffic, which products get the most traffic, how long people stay on your website, where they're visiting from, what language they speak, how they found you, and too much information. You definitely need to use analytics. If you're not using analytics, you're not able to see what's working and what's not working. You're just guessing.
When you get to a certain point, I mean, so let's say you're, Joe Rogan said his top podcast or top, with his website traffic, as much as views as he gets. I mean, is there a point where you don't even have to analyze the analytics anymore? You can just kind of just keep doing whatever you want to do because automatically you're going to get a certain amount of hits?
If you want to optimize and really convert as much as you can, then you want to look at the analytics. If you don't care about money and you don't care, then don't worry about the analytics. But if you're trying to really maximize that value, then you need to look at the analytics.
Gotcha. So, is there any trends, and as far as we're looking at analytics, digital marketing, search engine optimization? I mean, is there any trends, or we got to always stay on top of something, looking for the next wave, or is it just kind of stay steady for the most part?
No, it's constantly changing and evolving, but everything really is shifting towards mobile nowadays. Everybody's got a mobile device, and everything needs to, websites need to look good on mobile, need to load quickly, need to be efficient, need to be optimized for mobile. So making sure when you build a website, it looks good on mobile, not only desktop, but mobile as well, because the majority of the traffic does come from mobile nowadays.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of experience with building websites too?
No, I just help you get that traffic. Yeah, just make sure people find you.
I mean, so what's the first thing you do when a client comes to you? It's like, hey, I want to start increasing people, or I want to start increasing my hits or my views. I mean, what would be the first thing you start looking at?
Well, first, got to do a website analysis.
Okay.
Figure out what's working, what's not working, and try to figure out why their competitors are ranking, but they're not ranking, by looking at their keywords, looking at their backlinks, and try to figure out what that disconnect is and how to fill that void that Google's thinks they might not be having.
Is it easier in certain industries compared to others?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the less competitive, the easier it's going to be. The more competition, the more time it's going to take, the more you're going to have to put into it. If you're competing against a bunch of big corporations, selling just T-shirts, it's going to be really tough. You're being like Amazon and Walmart and Wikipedia and Amazon and Target and all these big corporations. But if you're a big corporation, then you can go for it. But if you're not a big corporation, I wouldn't be selling something so generic as like a T-shirt or socks, because there's a lot of competition out there.
Do you work mostly with entrepreneurs and people who are, can't really compare themselves or compete with the big brands?
No, I work with them all.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice, man. So when you were talking about backlinks, let's explain that a little bit more in depth to people, because that's one of the first times I've actually heard that too. So when you're building backlinks, and you said something about like you get it from the New York Times, I think you used that example. That way you get through. Like, let's go a little bit more in depth with that.
Yeah, so a backlink is just a clickable link from another website that points to yours. The more clickable links that you get, the more trust Google's going to give to you, and the higher they're going to rank you. So you got to get published on other websites by writing articles, getting interviewed on them, doing press releases, whatever needs to be done to get them to want to write about you. That's where you got to get creative and try to figure out how can I pitch myself to the New York Times or the LA Times and get them to say yes.
So is everything solely up to Google? Is it just kind of like, because what I'm getting at is that when people talk about being like shadow banned on social media, or like, some of their posts are not reaching, I guess they changed the algorithm or whatever. You're like, oh, my post is not reaching the normal amount of hits it usually gets, or the stories, I get, 1,000 views on this one story, but today I only got 200. I mean, is it just them controlling what they want people to see, or is that just the trends changing, or how's that working?
With social media, or
kind of both, with Google and social media, because it seems like I've read that if somebody does a search for, let's say, all right, so today they gave up or did the loan forgiveness thing or whatever, right? Biden talked about. So I've heard like one browser, like you type loan forgiveness on Google, and I'm not saying this does it, I'm just using this as an example. Then you go type it in like on Brave or DuckDuckGo, it gives you a lot more different sites to look at compared to like whatever they said we don't want you to see certain articles or certain links or stuff like that on Google. And like Instagram seems to control what they want to.
Yeah, they all pick and choose what they want to show, but they all have algorithms. So Google's algorithm is different than Bing's, then different than DuckDuckGo, and different than Brave, and different than all of them, because they all keep it top secret. They don't want to share that search engine or that algorithm. Except for Bing powers Yahoo, because there's no more Yahoo. Yahoo's there, but it's not really there anymore. It's actually Bing that's powering it. But they all have algorithms that they keep top secret. So the way they rank those sites, no one really knows. There's just things that we see help or don't help, but the algorithm, no one knows how that works. Even Google doesn't know how it works because of machine learning and artificial intelligence now, that it's just taking its life of its own, which is kind of weird and scary.
Yeah. So When people actually say, like, I see random reels or random videos on YouTube saying, "Oh, this is how you beat the algorithm on YouTube or beat the algorithm for Instagram to get your reel up." I mean, is that just kind of bullshit, or like you said, they don't even really know how it works, or is that just kind of clickbait?
They might know how it works, but tomorrow, Google changes every single day. So every day Google changes. So if you learn how Google works today, tomorrow it's going to change, and the next day it's going to change, the next day it's going to change, and probably the same with social. I feel like they're probably changing pretty frequently. Not sure how often they change it, but I'm sure they're changing it pretty much on a daily basis, minute by minute, probably.
Yeah, so I want to go back a little bit, because you said about what you said about artificial intelligence, and that kind of triggered something in my head because of, what is it, a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, when that one Google, I guess he was an analyst or something, but he said that his I can't talk tonight. Artificial intelligence actually came or started having feelings or something along those lines. You remember that? Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yep. Everything is going to be, it's the weird future that we're going to be living in.
So you think that's actually going to happen? Like artificial intelligence will come to start to, what is it? What do you call it? Serenity? Is it certainty or something like that? When it actually has its own feelings and comes alive.
Yeah, like the metaverse, living in there. Yeah, it's going to be weird in the future. I don't know what's going to happen, but for now we have this. But who knows what this is? This could just be another one of those too.
You think that's going to be the future, though? I mean, you're saying it's going to be a weird future. I mean, is that going to be like Ready Player One type stuff, where we're all basically living in the metaverse?
Are we already doing that right now?
In a sense.
That's the weird part. We might be already. We just created another one and another one.
Let's just go down a whole wormhole and just keep creating metaverses and new versions.
It might be. Who knows? It's a weird thing out there.
What do you think about? I mean, do you like that? I mean, do you think that's good for humanity, so to speak? That people lose themselves in these metaverses, and they almost can't distinguish reality versus the simulation.
Yeah, no, it's good to be in reality, but who knows if this is reality either? That's the weird part, because it could all just be another big simulation. But being in real life, whatever real life is, if this is, it's pretty nice.
Is that what you describe to simulation theory?
No, but I just don't know. That's the thing. No one knows. So who knows? Could be, could not be, but who knows?
Oh man. Yeah, it's fun. I'm right there with you, man, because I don't really know anything either, but it's kind of fun to talk about and kind of listen to those conspiracy theories to see what they got to say on it. It seems like they got obviously something to say about everything, but kind of just makes you think and go down a deep dive. And then when you start looking up random stuff on Google or Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, it's like, ooh, maybe there is some truth to this. I mean, do you ever do anything like that?
Yeah, it is a weird one, but you can't trust what you read online. That's the biggest thing. Never trust anything you read online. Unfortunately, when I've done digital, can't trust anything. It's unfortunately all probably fake.
Gotcha. Yeah. You ever
done by marketers? Whatever you see online is done by marketers. Doesn't mean it's the best product or service. It just means they did better marketing to get themselves ranked at the top of Google or top of Instagram or wherever it is. But yeah, you can't really trust anything, unfortunately. Everything is manipulated.
Is that part of just knowing, like, okay, human psychology, they just know how to feed people's minds, and like, okay, so if we say X, Y, and Z, we know that we're going to get extra website sales. And
not just knowing the algorithms and how to place yourself in front of your competitors and get yourself ranked higher than your competition. That's really what it comes down to, is just knowing that marketing a little bit better than your competitors and getting that coverage.
Gotcha. So going back a little bit, we said the first thing for your client, what you would do is check out their website and stuff. So when you checked out their website, you did all that, and you got your own due diligence going. So what's the next step to help somebody out?
Oh man, I got to analyze it and then implement what's missing, figure out what they're doing that their competitors are not doing, or what the competitors are doing that they're not doing, and how to fill that void. But the backlinks, content, keywords that they're putting on their website, just try to make sure that everything aligns properly and is relevant. So Google then trusts them and wants to rank them for those keywords. But it's really spying on the competitors, getting that strategy in place, and then employing it, because competitors are going to tell you everything you need to know.
What do most people, is there a common theme that most people are not doing that they should be doing?
looking at the competition probably, and
Uh,
they're just trying to beat Google when you shouldn't try to beat Google. Google changes every day, but what matters is who's on that first page of Google, how much SEO have they done, and how can I do a better job of what they're doing. Really, that's what matters mainly.
yeah. So you
Yeah, because Google changes every day, so can't be trying to figure out Google.
so when you say it changes every day, like that's just like you said, their artificial intelligence just developing or just finding new ways to be better, more efficient, more effective.
Well, yep, just updating their algorithm, doing little tweaks and changes to their algorithm every single day. No one knows what they're doing, but they're doing. Sometimes they'll tell you, but usually they don't tell you because they want you to run paid ads. They don't want you to do SEO.
Do the paid ads really work?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, paid ads work. It's just making sure that you get a positive return on your investment.
So if somebody I'm wondering because I notice or I know people who put up the Facebook ads, and I've never really seen. Well, I mean, I know Google Ads has their ads, but as far as Facebook, I'm wondering that it's more of a. I heard somebody tell me the other day that it's more of an old person's platform, and not really many people are getting on Facebook much anymore. And that's kind of the reason why, like, oh yeah, if you get an ad on Facebook, there's not really going to be that many people who see it anymore. Or if they are going to see it, it's probably not your targeted audience anyway, or target demographic.
Yeah, that's why you got to test with the ads. Figure out where your audience is, push more money into that, but test because you never know where your audience is going to be. They might be on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, Tumblr, Reddit, wherever they're at. That's where you got to be. So if they're on Facebook, got to be on Facebook. If they're not on Facebook, don't worry about Facebook.
So when you say test an ad, you mean just buy up like a random cheap ad and just put it out there and just see what happens?
Or try to rank organically. I would do that. Or if you're running paid ads, you could test ads out and test different creatives, landing pages, images versus videos, different types of content, text ads, and see what converts, different landing pages, different targeting for the audience and segments, and push more money to that. Figure out who's working, who's converting versus who's clicking. Cut out the clicks and focus on the conversions.
What do you mean by rank organically? Just not doing anything and just putting your stuff out there and see what happens?
Yeah, like doing SEO is organic. So,
Oh, okay.
These type of things.
I didn't realize that. And then so do it in like the Google Trends and just kind of seeing where you're trending at.
Google Trends shows you what's trending. So you can see what's popular that day, that week, that year. But it just shows you what's trending.
So, as far as like Twitter and everything, I mean, is there a certain top social media site people should be using? As far as, we just talked about Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter. I mean, does that change every day or is it mainly just Twitter or depending on, seems like Twitter's one of the bigger ones now.
Yeah, it just depends who your audience is at or where your audience is. That's where you need to be. So if your audience is on Pinterest, gotta be on Pinterest. If they're on Twitter, you gotta be on Twitter. If there's some random small one that you've never heard of, but your audience is on there, you need to be there. It's not what platform is most popular because popularity doesn't mean that's where your audience is at. You gotta figure out who your audience is and where they are. Like that's number one.
What about email marketing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, email is very good.
Yeah.
Definitely email. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wondering, people just instantly just turn stuff off, put them in their spam emails I guess it kind of depends on what you've been saying. Like once you know that who your audience is, they're going to be looking for those certain specific emails. But, I mean, I work in higher education. I have a lot of students who don't even check their actual student email anymore. They're like, oh, I missed it. And it's like, wait, went to your email. How did you miss it? What are you talking about? But they're like, oh, we don't like that. I was like, what? This is your main thing.
Yeah, it might not have the right email address. That's why you got their student email. You don't have the real email. But if you have the real email, they'll be checking that for sure.
So like if I actually had a personal Gmail account or something like that, they're probably checking that more often.
Yeah,
because they know just because they know like any school stuff is probably just going to go to that school, or obviously their school email. Like, screw that, I don't have to look at that. But anything personalized to them, they'll want that. But
yeah, most likely. Yeah, you gotta think of yourself as a student. Do you want to be learning? Some of them might want to be learning all the time, but most probably want to check out and learn a little bit and then relax and then check it a little bit later, not check it all the time.
So you said earlier in the podcast that you kind of fell into this. I mean, did you not see yourself doing this at a younger age or what?
Yeah, no, just didn't know about it. Never heard of search engine optimization and wasn't planning on it. Just enjoyed entrepreneurial spirit, So I wanted to do something with business, but didn't know about digital marketing or anything like that until I got my first job.
Is that what more people are doing now? Is the digital marketing? It seems like e-commerce is. I have a lot of people on here doing that now, and it seems to be a good direction to lead people into.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, e-commerce is online, so that's just sales, but E means electronic or online. So doing business online instead of doing brick and mortar.
So, I read something that you actually even quit your daytime job to even start pursuing this full time. What was that like?
Well, it was nice. I would have quit the job after building it up and building it up and building it up over the years to get to where I could be able to quit my job and focus solely on this. But it did take a while. It wasn't just immediate. Kind of build it up, build that trust and credibility, and build that clientele up, and build enough trust with other people and Google, and get those rankings up too. Like building my own website and ranking it takes time.
Was it kind of stressful though? I mean, trying to, doing that much work, working a regular, I guess you had a regular 9 to 5, so to speak, and then you were just kind of doing this on the side at the same time and trying to get it to where you wanted to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Doing SEO full time and then doing SEO on the side. So it was all the same thing, which makes it a little easier, I guess.
Yeah. So you just really never, decided, if you're doing it full time, then you're doing it on the side. I guess you just kind of really never quit. But I mean, if you really enjoy doing it though, I mean, what do they say that, it's not really a job if you actually have a passion for it, or if it's a hobby, that it's fun for you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I enjoy it. Definitely. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, has your, since you quit your full-time job, I mean, is it like it's like a regular 40-hour a week, or do you just say, I'm going to go work like 8 to, regular, like 7 to 4 or something like that? Or do you just kind of do it whenever you feel like it?
Yeah. Do it whenever you feel like it. But
nice.
Probably work 80 hours a week or something like that. But yeah, it's not as easy, but you can pick and choose your own hours, which is the best part.
Exactly. Plus you are your own boss too, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be a nice feeling too. I mean, just knowing that you don't have anybody looking over you and wondering how you're doing it. You get to do things you want to do, and exactly, man. That's what I like about doing these podcasts and stuff. That I don't have anybody on here telling me, oh, you should have said this, or you should have did it that way, or we want you to move a little bit more to the left in order to have a better whatever feel for the camera or whatever. But yeah, it's nice, man. Once you get that feeling and know that, I can do my own thing. I don't need anybody else.
No, it is the best being your own boss.
Yeah. Did you move to LA originally from somewhere else?
No, grew up here my whole life.
Really? Ah, okay. Yeah. Huh. No, I mean, it seems like a lot of people are trying to get out of LA right now, but you're in there for the long haul?
Oh, you can't beat that weather. So you can give me a better place with better weather, and let's go. But 70 degrees all the time with the beach and the mountains right here.
Exactly, man. Yeah. No, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's just, we don't have to go political or anything, but just, there's a lot of statistics I've been reading lately that saying how, everyone's trying to get into Texas apparently, and more people are getting out of Los Angeles. But there's a lot of people who talk very, very highly of just like what you said, you got the ocean and mountains and it's 70 degrees or whatever all the time. And so
it
seems
I like it. I enjoy that weather.
See, I don't blame you, man. I mean, what are you doing when you're not doing search engine optimization all the time?
Going down to the beach, mountains,
just doing all that,
traveling, going to concerts, hanging out with friends and family, and just trying to disconnect, get that work-life balance.
So keeping that work-life balance, it's a good idea, man. But I want to take it back to Instagram just because, when you start getting to an area where you have so many followers, right? I mean, is that good as far as business perspectives? I know people who buy fake followers, or I've seen people who buy the fake followers. Is that good as far as in your perspective?
No.
Or can you really tell that?
You shouldn't buy fake followers.
Okay.
Yeah, you could buy real followers, but don't buy fake followers.
What do you mean by buy real followers?
There's services that sell real followers, but don't buy fake ones. Fake ones are bad, and they're doing more harm than good.
Like all the bots and stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I've started to notice, like when I go to random people's profiles and stuff, you can just kind of tell it's they have 10,000, 15,000, whatever followers, and then like 3 likes on each photo, and I was like, something doesn't add up here, and that immediately would turn me off from
Mm.
stuff like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, yeah. That's why I gotta go with the real ones. Don't buy fake followers.
I mean, I didn't understand. How does that work? I mean, they just have a service, and then the service tells everyone to follow somebody, or what?
I don't even know. I try to stay away from fake stuff.
That's
Don't
cool.
want to deal with all that fake stuff. It's not going to do any good. It's going to do more harm than good in the long run.
Yeah. So, in speaking of the long run, you said it took you a while to build up all of your stuff. So, going back to working with that client stuff, I mean, this is probably not an overnight thing that's going to happen. Where like, ooh, like I'm ranked number one in Google as far as or whatever. Does it just take time to keep building and building like everything else?
Mm-hmm. Just got to keep building and building it up and building it up, and over time, you'll get to that level. But you can't just go viral. Some people do, but it takes time. It takes time of growing it and building it up and doing the foundation to get people to want to trust you, to get Google to trust you. It all takes time, unfortunately.
Is that luck? Is that part luck to go viral?
I guess.
Or is it just kind of what you said, the Google finds your video that day or Instagram or whatever it be, and it's like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and send this one up? Or is it just kind of, you just everything else, shares and reposts and everything's like more people start seeing it and it spreads like a virus?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of both for sure.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Well, what would be I guess I think I know all the benefits of using search engine optimization, but just for a listeners perspective, I mean, is it just obviously just to get all the traffic you can to increase your sales and everything as much as possible?
Just to get you to the top of Google so you don't have to spend money on ads. That's the main thing, is getting you on Google without spending money on ads, because you could get up there, you spend money on ads, but once you stop spending money on ads, you just disappear. With SEO, you stop doing SEO, you're not just going to disappear. You're going to still stay up there and get that traffic.
Is it true that most people don't go past the first page of Google when they're looking for something?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I think when's the last time you went to page 2 or 3 or 4?
I started thinking about
don't go that deep, but some people will, but most people don't really go that far.
Well, because most of the time, like instantly, they'll find, for the most part, what they were searching for anyway in the first page. But anyway, and then that probably would direct. Is that part of a backlink? You click this, and then it's like, oh, let me go over here, and then let me go over here. Let me see what this is about. Is that kind of what the backlink is?
No, backlink would just be like if you're reading the New York Times and in there it mentions your name and you click on it and it goes to your website, you got a backlink from the LA Times or the New York Times.
Do they get any benefits from that?
A little bit, but mainly you get the main benefit. You want people to link to you, not the other way around.
Yeah. So, trying to think of what else that I need to ask you about all this stuff. I mean, this is all pretty new to me, and it's all stuff that I've been trying to do, is like as far as promote myself. And I don't even have a website or anything, but as far as does it work as far as like Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts, you got to get your views up that way or downloads, or is it more just kind of you stick with more like Google and all that?
Sorry, what was the question?
So I was just thinking, like, as far as, say like a new podcast or a smaller podcast like me, and, I don't have a website or anything like that, but as far as, searching it through Spotify or Apple Podcast or anything like that, is there any ways to, get more hits and more links and views via that way rather than just promote a, is that all just keywords again and what you're putting in the show notes and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's just like optimizing your website, but optimizing your podcast or whatever it may be. But yeah, everything has an algorithm. So I was just trying to figure it out and doing the things that they're looking for, sending the right signals to them.
A lot of it just seems to be like a lot of trial and error. Just try something, see what works, and just keep moving on.
Yeah. What's working, push more money into that, more time into that, and stop what's not working.
I got you. So, I mean, I know we talked about the future of it, but, I kind of thought, going back to the metaverse conversation, that this is where podcasts are going to be and that people are going to be living in the metaverse, and just like you and I would be having this conversation with our avatars, with people around us. watching around, and it seems like stuff like that would really get big hits. And I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know how it's going to work. What do you think? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that one I have no idea. I don't know anything about the metaverse. I'm not too well versed in all that stuff yet. Soon to be, hopefully. We'll see. If that's how we're all going to be living, might as well figure it out sooner than later.
So, in talking about using ads again and stuff like that, if people who use the Amazon affiliate program, is that a good way to start setting up your stuff that way and selling through Amazon if you want to become like e-commerce, or is there better ways out there?
Yeah. If you want to be e-commerce, for sure, affiliates always work out like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way, but there's a lot of different ways to do it. You could do Amazon affiliate or make your own product.
Do you think that most people go to websites anymore? Or do they kind of lead more to just let me go check out their Facebook profile, or let me check out their Instagram profile first, rather than actually go to the first website?
Probably the other way around. Probably go to their website first, then social media.
Really? I've had some people tell me like, well, I mean, this is obviously generally speaking, I mean, you're the expert, but that most people just say, oh, I'm going to look them up on Instagram first and see what kind of, their pages are, or whatever they're promoting on Facebook. I don't know. I guess
maybe, but I don't know if you're looking for like a doctor. Are you going to go on Facebook for a doctor?
No, that's a good point.
Or a lawyer, or an electrician, or plumber, or a restaurant. So I don't know what you would look on social for, really. I don't know. What would you be searching?
I guess, I guess that's case by case scenario. I mean, just like you said, I wouldn't go on Instagram looking for a doctor, but I guess it's like if somebody told me about a specific brand, about if they're making, like cups like this or whatever, it's like, oh, let me check out their Instagram first. Let me see if.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you know the company name, yeah. But if you're trying to find something new, then you're probably going to go on Google to find something new. But if you know the company name, then yeah, you might go on Instagram or directly to the company's website.
Gotcha. Do you work solo, or do you work as a group of people, or is it just you?
I have a team of people that help me out.
Okay. So you just kind of all do the same thing, or
yep. Just get that traffic to Google. Yep. Do the right things. Get people that traffic.
Cool. Well, Brandon, I want to be respectful of your time. I know you got to get out of here, and I appreciate you being here. But if people want to find you, if they want anything you want to plug, if they want to find your businesses and all that good stuff, how do they do that?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to learn more, I create a special gift if they go to my website, seooptimizers.com. It's seooptimizers.com/gift. And they can find that there along with my contact information and a bunch of classes I've done over the years. And if they want a free website analysis, they can book some time on my calendar there to get a free website consultation as well.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it. I think we got a lot of good information out of this.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, cool. All right, we're out of here, folks. See ya.
Have a good rest of your day.